Hello everyone, in this video we will be talking about the clavicle bone, all the muscles originating and getting inserted on the clavicle. So you can see this broad pectoralis major in the upfront. So the pectoralis major from the anterior border of the clavicle and from the medial 2/3 of the shaft is getting originated. Okay, so you can write that medial 2/3 of shaft, anterior border, the origin of pectoralis major takes place. And along with that, on the anterior border itself, you can see this muscle. This is deltoid muscle. So on the lateral 1/3 of shaft, the origin of deltoid takes place. You got that? If we now move on to the posterior border, you can see here this muscle. You would be knowing this is sternocleidomastoid muscle. So the clavicular head of sternocleidomastoid is originated from the posterior border of clavicle on the medial or sternolate. So on the posterior border. Now if you see on the lateral side, this is a broad trapezium you can see here. So the insertion of trapezius takes place on the lateral side of the posterior border of clavicle. I hope you got these. So only the trapezius is getting inserted, otherwise the deltoid, pectoralis major and sternocleidomastoid is originating from the clavicle. Now there are two other muscles. Now if you can see this muscle is sternohyoid. So the origin of sternohyoid takes place from the posterior border on the medial side of the shaft. You can very clearly see here. So origin of sternohyoid also takes from the clavicle. Other than sternohyoid, so here you can see this muscle is subclavius. So the insertion of subclavius takes place on the subclavian groove of the clavicle. So if you can see on the inferior surface, there is a subclavian groove. So the insertion of subclavius takes place on the subclavian groove. So if we sum up, so the insertion of trapezius and subclavius takes place on the clavicle, as well as the pectoralis major, deltoid, sternocleidomastoid and sternohyoid takes the origin from the clavicle. I hope you like the video. Please subscribe and share this to others.